Hey, what's up? It's your girl Tara Marie here. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. Today I have a glowy, light, beautiful, super wearable summer makeup routine for you. This is what I have going on. Very nice, and I have my blue on for Memorial Day today. So I'm not going to talk your head off. I did experiment with a different filming style today, and I'm going to be doing a voiceover, so let me know which one you prefer. I usually talk through my videos, but wanted to switch it up a little bit, so let me know what you think, and we can go ahead right and get started in this video. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our foundation. Today I'm using the True Match L'Oreal Liquid Foundation in the shade Classic Tan in N7. And how I like to apply this one, I just kind of dot it all over my face using my fingers. This is just how I feel like I get the best, I don't know, nothing fancy. It's just what I like to do personally. So I'm just going to go ahead and dot this. And then I'm going to take my Eco Tools Beauty Sponge and just start blending. I do dampen the sponge just to get a little bit better coverage, or not coverage, but just, just like a better finish. Just give me more skin-like finish. And with magic, I'm magically done blending. I'm going to go ahead and move on to my concealer. And this is my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Tan Sand. It was not trying to focus for me, but you got it. So I'm going to go ahead and just start applying this to my under eyes. I also apply this on my forehead, or actually, my chin, and then my forehead, and then also drag it down my nose. And then I'm just going to flip my beauty blender over, not my beauty blender, my Eco Tools, and flip it over and just start blending with the opposite side of the sponge. Really making sure to get everything nice and blended. And I'm realizing now, looking at this, doing the voiceover, I look like I'm pushing my face so hard, but I swear I'm not. So anyway, after a quick mirror check, then I will go ahead and move on to my contour. And for that, I'm going to be powder contouring with my Pure Sculptor palette. And I'm also grabbing my angled face brush. Forgive me, I'm listening to music while I'm doing this. So I'm just going to be picking up a little bit of that pigment and swirling it around with the brush. And I like to start on the outer portion of my upper cheekbone and start blending it down. I like it to be darker towards the ear and then start to fade as we get closer to the mouth. And so I'm just going to do that on both sides. And then I'm also going to be carving out my forehead. I just kind of apply the powder contour shade around where I put my little half circle with my highlighting concealer. And I'm just going around my temples, making sure everything is nice and blended together. All right, so I thought I was going to do lashes, but then I was like, what? I didn't even do my eyeshadow yet. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up my eyeshadow that I'm going to be using today, which is the Urban Decay palette. I don't know what the name is, but the color I'm using is Smog. That color is in the Naked palette, and I believe another one of the Naked palettes. So you can just go ahead and pick that up. And then the brush I'm using is just a brush that I got from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette. And so I'm using that and just blending Smog into my crease and slightly above, just to give my eyes a little bit of definition. The shade doesn't show up super well on camera, but it just gives me a little bit of definition and a little bit of shimmer for summer. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this on both eyes, trying not to drag this out for too long. But y'all know how to blend. All right, so after blending your crease, then we can put on lashes. Oop, you like that camera trick I did there? Yeah. So what am I doing next? I think I'm doing blush. Yep. Okay, so I'm using my Note blush in the shade Desert Rose, per usual. And I just take my flat face brush and start at the kind of apples of my cheeks and then working it back. You can do your blush however you like. This is just how I feel like is most flattering on my face shape. So after I get my blush blended and looking how I like, I also like to take a little bit and just tap it over my nose just for a nice rosy touch. And then I'm moving on to highlighter. I'm using the Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter in Golden Lights. And I really love this highlighter. It goes really well with my skin tone. If you want that really golden, glowy look. And so I'm just applying this with my Luxie highlighter brush to all of the high points of my face. So this is your cheekbones. I'm also going to be applying this to my forehead in a second. So I'm applying this to my forehead, like kind of just above where my brows are. Another part where the sun will nice and just like really catch the light there. And it was just a little bit too sparkly on one side, so I just took my Eco Tools sponge and just kind of blurred out those edges. And now I'm just taking that, I'm gonna give myself a nice little exclamation point on my nose. And for my bridge, I just kind of dip the end of my pinky into the highlighter and then just drag the side right down the center of my nose and blend it out with my finger. I like to do it this way because I feel like I get more of a defined line. With a brush, it tends to be a little bit wider and kind of defeats the purpose of contouring. And so I'm just taking this around the rest of my face. And I'm also highlighting my inner tear duct because it's summer and we are glowing. So I'm putting it in my tear duct, and I'm also going to be applying this underneath my brow bone. And so moving on to the lips, I'm going to be taking my Makeup Revolution, or I'm not sorry, it's Revlon lip pencil in the shade Wine, I believe. I've had this for so long, the color and all the writing is just worn off. But this is my go-to. It used to be my everyday. I don't draw this on harsh. I just kind of draw scattered lines on my lips. Just enough to give me like a little bit of a tint. And I put on chapstick beforehand so my lips are nice and moisturized and helps me really move around that pigment to give me that tinted effect. And then I'm just going in and spot checking anywhere that needs just a little bit more. Making sure to blur everything together. All right, and then now that everything is looking okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of gloss. I'm using my Appeal holographic gloss, and I'm just gonna be applying that all over the top. And this gloss does not pick up a whole lot, so after every little bit that you put on, you have to put it back in the tube, but the gloss is actually really pretty, so I don't mind. So after you get your gloss looking how you like, I believe we are done. So Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this summery glowy look, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.